Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Let's go make it public. Let's go make it public. How are you tonight? Hope you're doing well, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Let's make it public. Let's make it public. How are you beautiful people doing tonight? Let me go here and get it. Let's give it a second. It's coming up. It's coming up. Give it a second. Tuesdays with Terrence. How are you beautiful people doing tonight? A lot of my people tonight should be watching a Get Out of There podcast, but let me go and make this public right now. And it's public. It's public. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Let's put this up a little bit. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui, and some people call me Little Boy. If you're from the 767 Whitey Kubuli, the Commonwealth of Dominica, a.k.a. La Pointe, you call me Little Boy. Dominica made me Boston. All right, all right. So how are you folks doing tonight? It's a little snowy here in the DMV. A little snow today, not much, a little bit, but I'm excited. I'm excited. Let me get a sip of water as we play our theme song to start our show. Hope everyone's doing well. It's Black History Month. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Let's go play our theme song as we get people in the show. Here we go. You see it, and it's going to stop on me, right? There we go. There we go. Robin Martin, how are you? Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence.
It all hurt to be your word, much more than you put in. Now I don't need no superstar, 'cause I'll accept you as you are. You won't be denied, 'cause I'm satisfied. On my show, you don't have to have a million family to be on my show.
That's right. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to have a million to be on my show. Man, I hope you're doing well tonight. I'm doing fantastic. Guess what? Guess what? I am excited. Some of my regular followers or listeners will be actually watching a podcast, not a podcast tonight, a Get Out of Debt. A lot of my team members who usually follow me on Tuesdays with Terrence will be watching that. So I'm glad that they'll be watching. Sixth year. I'm going into my 6th year of Tuesdays with Terrence, and tonight is Black History Month. We're going to talk about how Black History Month and life insurance is integral, and how you can use life insurance to create your wealth. And some of us are not aware of it. Some of us are doing it, and some of us we just hard-headed. So Peaches Goodwill, they're on this. We have a Get Out of Debt seminar going on with my agency, American Classic Agency. So she's on there Cavell Scott's on there. Melissa Jeter's on there. I'm hoping Valerie Brown is on there. And a plethora of my other agents as well. But tonight it's just going to be intimate, me and you guys. How are you guys doing tonight, man? You watch? Let me tell you all something, man. I watched the Super Bowl and I was so happy because I didn't want Patrick Mahomes to three-peat, right? I didn't want to three-peat because Brady, Patriots, you know, a Brady fan. So I'm glad they got their butts smacked. They got spanked by Philly. So congrats to Philly. Philly beat us a few years ago. I didn't like that either. But we beat them a few years before that as well. But anyways, this part of the grind, And I'm the MVP, you know, and they annihilated them, man. And I was loving I love blowouts when the team that I want to win is winning. I love blowouts. It's a little warm here tonight. I should have turned on the heat, but I guess I'm going to deal with the heat tonight. It's a little hot. Let me button one of my shirts. How are you doing? How are you folks doing? Are you all doing well? Let's talk about the halftime show of the Super Rap fan. But now that I've seen the videos, man, Kendrick Lamar is a genius. He's a genius. Man, the revolution will be televised. And for those people who do not get it like me, I owe him an apology. I owe him an apology. And they had Serena on there. I was like, that lady looks like Serena, but it was Serena doing the little crip dance. And they had by some African Americans and even some Caucasians on the breakdown of the video. It's actually very of the halftime show. It's actually very powerful. Good evening, Valda, Mary, Peltier, Breedy, Sakafet. You know, but the Super Bowl was a great. It was a great game for me because Kansas City was getting killed, and that's important to me. But the halftime show. Those of you who on my WhatsApp, you can go WhatsApp. There's a video on there, and if some of you want that video, I can send you that video so you can actually really understand what really happened on that show. It was actually, man, genius. This guy's a genius, man. Kendrick Lamar from Compton, California. I guess him and Drake had a beef going back for a while, and the funny thing, for those of you who didn't get it, he had both of Drake's exes for the Americans or those who claim, you know, who always try to hate on black entertainment. They didn't get it, and I didn't get it at the beginning, but now I'm like, wow, that was brilliant. Good evening, Alvin Varsa. How you doing? How you doing? So anyways, tonight, it's sometimes I believe that we forget how paramount it is. Man, there's so many situations where I've seen where someone has passed, whether expectedly or unexpectedly, young, old, and there is no funds for burial. Now, life insurance, doing, my dear, good to see you tonight. I don't look at it as that. I look at it as a wealth building tool. Can you imagine? Think about this, right? Especially for those who live in the inner city. You know, you may live in an unsafe area. Can you imagine every time there was a murder, a killing, someone died, an accident, insurance companies had to pay out $2 million every family? Can you imagine that? Well, we don't think that way. A lot of African Americans don't. A lot of them have a selfish mentality and mindset. Well, I'll be gone. You know, I've heard people say they don't need that much. man, I say get as much as you can. Because remember, the lobbies, I saw a white guy on TikTok and he made a video and he was brilliant. And he said, can you imagine if every time, there was a party and someone died, a gang shooting, and he's talking about in the inner city. It happens in the white community as well. But he was talking about the African American community, which I agree with his post. And he was saying, can you imagine every time the insurance companies had to pay $1 million or $2 million? Think about it. He said the lobby would change. They would be lobbying police departments, Congress. They'll be lobbying a whole bunch of places. The African American community of people of color. There's too many times where there's deaths or there's an illness or sickness, critical illness, critical injury, chronic illness, and there is no funds. I'm sick and tired of people hitting me up with GoFundMe's and people hitting you up for, can you do this and do that? And excuse me, as I itch my bald head, there are some people who didn't know better. I'm not talking about those. There are some people who have a chronic or critical illness and they had no idea about living benefits. I'm not talking about those either. I'm talking about those who know. For example, someone asked me, oh, they're my Facebook friend, right? And they said, oh, I didn't know you were an insurance agent. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Almost every other post I make on social media and on Facebook is about income protection, debt elimination, and legacy creation. How can you not know? You're blind, dumb, foolish? Which one is it? I don't know. But the key is that even in our churches, it's paramount that churches have these kind of seminars. As a matter of fact, I'm planning one at my church after tax season. So on the importance of creating wealth and making sure they have something in place, because a lot of people sometimes don't have anything in place, and that is not a good thing. So for example, you have children, you have a child, you have teenagers, they're out and about, you got young people, some of them may be unemployed. To them, what are you going to do? Ask your brother, your sister, your church, GoFundMe's, begging on social media. That's not truth, man. That's not planning. Proper planning prevents poverty. Proper planning prevents poverty. In other words, you put in stuff, man, for Black History Month, every Black family needs to get life insurance. Native Americans, I'm talking about Black people who look like me. Now, those people need it too, and I'll sell it to them. But tonight, I'm going to concentrate on people who look like me, just like me. You don't need to put in the chat how much you have. That's personal. But you got to have something. I have something in place. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to get a. So I just want that money to be for cremation only and the rest for my family. If something happens to me. Now, I plan to live a long, long time, but just in case I don't make it home tonight, just in case you don't make it home tonight. I see too many stories of situations of people I know personally and people I don't know personally. You see it on social media, you see it in churches, you see it on the news, you see it all over, and we don't plan. This. All you can afford is $50. Get $50 worth. Get $50 worth. The minimum you should spend on life what's that going to do? It's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. And that way, God forbid something happens, families can live in the same houses or the same house that they've been in. They'll be able to stay in the same neighborhood. If they want to upgrade, they could. As a matter of fact, if they don't want to pay off the home, they have the money there, so they don't have to worry about how they're going to pay their mortgage. What I do know is this: when there's a catastrophe, right, whether or not you see people looking strong, it's killing them inside. Can you imagine losing a wife, a husband, a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, a child, a dear friend? Hurtful. Your heart is hurting, your head is hurting. I just saw last week on Facebook a guy I went to high school with. We played soccer together. I won't call his name, but he posted it. He got a call. His son is like 36, 37 years old, is dead. Can you imagine that? Son, it would break my heart. So someone said, well, life insurance don't bring people back. You're correct. But if I lost a loved one, while I'm coping with it, whether I need therapy, counseling, a vacation, whatever I need to cope, I have the funds to do that. And I haven't got to worry if I need to take some time off work and I have no vacation. The cable bill will stop coming. The electric bill will stop coming. Even the garbage bill, the insurance bill, the credit card bill, all of that keeps coming. And sometimes we can't do it. Thank God today I paid off all my credit cards. They're all at zero. But everybody can't do that. Everybody can't do that. But you got to work towards a plan to do that, to put something in place. Some of you watching right now, and you're walking with no life insurance, zero. I'm talking about the kind that you own, not on the job. Because people take downsize. Look at all these people who are working for the federal government. How many of them, 60,000 of them, they give them a buyout option? What are those people going to do? I wish I knew every single one of them so I could do a presentation, roll over all of their TSPs, get them life insurance, just in case. These people have families. They have mortgages, car notes, kids in school, credit cards, all kind of debt. I was sick. I went to the ER and I was hospitalized. You know, while I was in the hospital room in the ER, they brought me a bill of my deductible. It was about $3,800. I'm sitting in a bed with pain. Don't know what's wrong. For $3,800. because I got a high deductible plan, which is great. By the way, $5,000 is not going to bankrupt you. $3,800 is not going to bankrupt you. That's manageable. But imagine what it was, 380,000 or 3.8 million was the bill. Folks, listen to me. I've been doing this thing a long, long time. This is my 6th year of Tuesdays with Terrence, but I've been licensed much longer than that. I've been licensed for 20 years. And I've been in financial services for 40 years. And what I'm trying to tell you all is simply this. Proper planning prevents poverty. Proper planning prevents property. What I would love to see for Black History Month is that every family gets some more life insurance. I told you guys I'm going to do today. I was checking some quotes. I'm going to get some more. Is there a reason why we are not listening to the advisors or the financial professionals? You have a mortgage, you have a student loans, we can do that, put that in there. You got credit cards, car loans. All right, you don't have any of that? If something were to happen to you today, would anybody be affected financially? One of my good friends on Facebook, Judy Berry, posted something. She said, she was just wondering if something happened to you, who would be the 6 people to carry your coffin? I said, in my response, I'm not worried about who the 6. I wonder if the 6 people who are carrying my coffin has protection as well. Because I've put something in place. Folks, we plan everything. Vacations, trips. I know in Dominica now it's carnival time and some people are going home for that, for their fetes, and we plan for all these things. Some people go to Mardi Gras. Some people go to the Super Bowl. I applaud you. Congratulations. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. But I don't want to see you, living your good life. And then when you get sick and something happens, you expect Susie, Karen, Joe, Billy, and Bob to help. Plan properly. I was having a discussion with someone today and I was telling them the same thing. I would say when I was your age, man, I was doing a lot of foolishness, but if something had happened to me, there was ample coverage. So for Black History Month, what are you doing different? I don't know if you guys saw that chain cost 1.2 million. If he can afford a chain that costs 1.2 million, imagine how much he makes, right? So a lot of these people can self-insure. They may have a trust. They may have this, but I'm not talking about those 1% shots. I'm talking about Sally and Susie and Billy and, the average person. Those are the people I'm talking to. What's your plan? How are you going to change how you operate in 2025? For Black History Month, I should not see any GoFundMes on social media. One of my clients reached out to me on WhatsApp last week and told me, thank you for making me get life insurance on my children and myself. Now, I didn't make them. The way I talk sometimes, I'm very forceful. So it sounds like I'm making people do it. But I just showed them the responsibility. Good evening, Miss Esther Duran Casimir. Good to see you back on Facebook. Great post today. But this young lady, I didn't make her do it, but I showed her the value. And as a matter of fact, she knew the value because someone was murdered years ago. He didn't have any life insurance. Yeah, she was getting something from the government for her kids, but she still have to work. It would be nice if there was $2 million set aside so all her kids can go to college, pay off their home, do whatever they needed to do. Because they're in Massachusetts, it's expensive up there. But a lot of people don't, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. But because it's February, it's Black History Month, there are back in the day in America, a lot of African Americans were discriminated for life insurance. They didn't give you what you wanted. They gave you what they think you can afford. And their counterparts, the Caucasians, were having these big policies. So what I'm saying here is that we're not in those days anymore. Some of us act like we've arrived. Well, if we have arrived, why don't we do arrive things? Let's do like the wealthy do and put stuff in place. Last week, for my 5-year anniversary, February 4th was literally 5 years. I started doing the Tuesdays with Terrence, and a plethora of my colleagues came on, and non-colleagues, people I respect, came on the show. And I'm saying add to what you have. Please do. Let me help you too. You don't want me to help you? It's okay. Find someone who can help you. You want a second opinion on what you got? Reach out to me. WhatsApp and TikTok and LinkedIn and Instagram and X. My phone number is scrolling right on the screen right there. That's why I get some of these annoying calls sometimes. But I just want you to make sure that you are protecting yourself. It's Black History Month. As people of color, let's make sure that, God forbid, something happens in our communities, that we can take care of ourselves. Or something happens and the church got to contribute, or people got to contribute. And especially, it's affordable when you start young. Some of us, it's more important to us to have a nice car or a nice truck or a nice big home. All those things are beautiful. Your financial pyramid does not have an insurance foundation. It's flawed. Yeah, you want to do stocks, bonds, mutual funds, crypto, Bitcoin, real estate. Yeah, more power to y'all. Do what I sell, chicken on the side. Do here, more power to you. Some of us, we don't want to do it. You know, I'm trying to see if I can find a song to play for you guys. Um, let me see if I can find it. I think that's it right here. Hold on. Let me see. That might be it. Let's try. Yeah. Life happens. Sometimes we get sick, we get hurt, people talk about you, but it doesn't mean that you cannot financially plan. As people of color, we need to take advantage, take finances. I told you guys, I'm I was talking to one of my business partners today, and I was telling them, you know what, I've slacked off the last couple of years. So I wanted to start the year off right. I paid off all my credit cards. I have 5 of them, and they're all at zero. Right? Now, my goal is to make sure that I'm paying myself. You make sure you make a premium payment to your cash value life insurance so that down the road, you may have some money if you need to access it. So I'll play a little of the song for you. I love it. Some of you heard it before. This is Korean soul. 4 Korean singers. It's a remake. Still here. I've taken my lumps and bruises. Thank the Lord, I'm still here. He said he made it through another day's journey, but God kept him here. And it's the same thing with you and with me, folks. We all have trials and tribulations. We got jobs. We got the only person who can take care of our future self is our current self. The only person who can take care of our future self is our current self. I know that for a fact. And I believe some of you do know that as well. Good evening, Beth Amato. Good to see you tonight. Feeling better last night. I'll make it up to you guys. Let me know. Like I was telling Beth, like I was hospitalized, but you know what? God forbid something had happened to me, my family would have been okay. I'm gonna be okay, but there's some people who are not. They have something chronic. Some people have something serious. at my church, one of our members lost a child, young person. Can you imagine that? If that was you or if that was me, it happens. It happens, man. A lot of people are getting here, but you know what? Regardless of all of that stuff, you still have to plan. And as people of color for Black History Month, I'm pleading with you. I'm asking you. I'm begging you to make sure you plan and put something in place. Make sure your children are protected. That. And then when they're old enough, you teach them. We teach them so that they can continue it. So that when they have their families, they can continue it. Just like the other ethnicities do. People of color need to be wiser, smarter, plan better, do the right things and put it in place. Black History Month is not overcome. My eyes have seen the coming of the singing those songs and wearing a kunta cloth or African outfit. Nah. You can do all of those things. Yeah, do all of that, but plan financially. Plan to get yourself out of the situation that you're in. If you're in debt, get a plan. We can help you. Eliminate your debt, save, create a legacy, plan. I'll pull it up real quick for you. On my story, right? Hold on a minute, if I can get it for you. I think it might be in here. Let's see. Yeah, it's not in there, but I can tell you what it is. Yeah, it's on my story, but actually my story is showing Tuesdays with Terrence. Let's see. Nah, hold on. No, there it is. Okay, go back one. Go back another. Yeah, it says you should consider, this is what it says. You should consider term life insurance. And it doesn't have to be term, it could be whole life as well. But let's concentrate on term for a moment. You should, if you want affordable life insurance for a set time period, maybe you have loans, a mortgage, 30 years, car loan, 4 or 5 years, student loans, or a boat or something that you're financing, or you have a business. You're going through a major life event, a marriage, a baby, a home purchase, a divorce. I have friends now who are going through divorces right now. And they need, I'm talking about minors and adults. Some of you have adult children. Some of us have adult children, and we still got to help them. So have a financial obligations, financial dependent, a mortgage, paying debt, etc. You have specific financial goals. Yesterday, I paid off all my credit cards. And so that money I was paying to credit cards, I need to put it back and pay myself. Yeah, I got my regular bills. All my bills are paid. Praise the Lord. Knock on wood. I made the last one yesterday, I think. All my bills are paid. But the point about it is, I still need to plan because I have a family. I got kids and I have a wife. So I got to plan. And some of you, I know you've done some planning, but for Black History Month, I'm pleading with you that you add more to your planning. You remember at the beginning of February, I gave you all a challenge. Is anybody doing it? Remember what the challenge was? Every day you double. So you save a penny on February 1st. On February 2nd, you save 2 cents. February 3rd, 4 cents. You keep doubling it every day. And at the end of the month, I want you to tell me how much money you have, and I'm going to tell you what to do with it. I'm doing it. My brother said he's going to do it. Some other people said they might try it. I don't know if they're doing it. They may or they may not. I don't know. But at the end of the month, I'm going to tell you guys what to do with that money. I know what I'm going to do with that money, but I want to know what will you all be doing with that money. So don't come here. Don't be posting all this Black History Month stuff on social media. What are you doing? What books you're reading on financial literacy for Black History Month? There's another one in my story. You know, if you guys it's by Eugene Mitchell. And some of you need to get that book. Don't ask me to get it for you. Get it for yourself. Sometimes invest in yourself. Seven Untold Truths about you know. My middle name is Terrence, right? Tuesdays with Terrence. Actually, my name is Havis Terrence N. Bardui. The N is for no. Learn to say no this year. Learn to tell people no. I believe you guys can do it. Start telling people no. I'm sorry, man. No, I can't afford to. Take care of yourself and your home first, and then if you have a surplus, everybody's always asking, can you contribute this? Can you contribute that? Can you do this? Can you do that? But guess what? No, I'm sorry. You don't even have to say you're sorry. I think sometimes we think no is a bad thing. No is a complete sentence. And then you don't keep your promise or your commitment, or I'll think about it. Just tell them no. And if someone get mad at you and they don't want to talk to you, consider it their loss. You know why? Because true friends and true people don't get mad because you told them no. You remember when you was a kid and your parents told you no? Good evening, Mr. Troy Holt. Great to see you. Hope you are on that great get out of debt. My agents were on there as well. Some of them, I should say. Learn to say no. No, I can't do it. You have to be a fool to take care of everybody and don't take care of yourself. You got to be a fool to love anybody and you don't love yourself. Good evening, Peach Goodwill. leadership group text. You guys, you can't be taking care of everybody and not taking care of yourself. This year, I'm taking care of myself first. Like I told you guys yesterday, I paid off my credit cards. Praise the Lord. And all the way, Dominica, good to see you, young man. I paid off all my credit cards. Now, as you guys know, I was hospitalized 2 weekends ago. So basically, I have this huge deductible. It's like almost $4,000. I got to pay that. I'll take care of that. But I also got to pay myself. And the way you pay yourself is having a cash value life insurance. No matter what's happening. If your light bill is due, make an arrangement with them. Like I made an arrangement with Dominion. And then I called them, I paid it off, and I said, I don't want an arrangement anymore. Paid them off. So I don't have to worry. The bank or the finance company or credit union, your mortgage, you pay the car loan finance company, you pay the light bill, the water bill, the gas bill, everything. Groceries you got to buy, but you're paying everybody, but you're not paying yourself. How wise is that? It's Black History Month, and all Black people need to start paying yourself. Starting today. You're not paying yourself, you need to call me and have a one-on-one. I'm going to pay myself. Stop paying everybody. Pay myself. I didn't tell you not to pay your utilities and your bills and your commitments. That's not what I said. I said you're paying everybody, but you're not paying yourself. Why? Why you usually cheat other people, not yourself? Like you should love yourself. You can't love everybody and don't love yourself. Oh, I love me some me, boy. Was it Tony Braxton who had the song? I love me some him. Well, me too. I love me some him. Him, me, moi. Havis Terrence Bardui, a.k.a. Little Boy, a.k.a. Luku Boy from La Pointe, Point Michel, Commonwealth of Dominica, Whitey Kubuli, Torres Body. Dominica made me. Take care of yourself, man. I was watching one of my clients, IULs. And in 4 years, I was watching two of my clients' IULs. One's the young 20s and the other one's in their 50s. And they're both of them in 4 years. One's doing a lot more. One's doing $500 a month. The other one's doing about $1,000. One has about 23,000 in cash value, 28,000. The other one has about almost 60,000 in cash value. Now, the younger one, when they're reaching their 50s, they'll have hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash value. But the one in their 50s started in their early 50s. Up north. And I told them, the longer you wait, 4 years ago, they told me they were going to do something. So now they contact me, and in the process, they have to talk to their spouse and look it over. But the longer you wait, you're wasting time. Start somewhere, man. Something. Start with something. And then you can augment it. In other words, stretch it, increase it, make it longer. But start somewhere. tactics. I'm not going to change the way I approach it. But I want them to know the earlier you start, the better it is. Folks, you can do it. It's Black History Month. And this year for Black History Month, we're going to change how we think. We're going to change how we act. Mask first before you help your kids or anybody else. Why? Because you can't take care of somebody if you can't take care of yourself. How you going to take care of someone and you didn't prepare? So in 2025, starting this month for Black History Month, we're going to do things different. We're going to pay ourselves every paycheck. Don't put it in a bank either. Put it in cash value life insurance. Some of you have some health challenges. There's other things you can do with it. There's other people you could insure as well, family members. You can still control it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm changing everything that I'm doing. First, starting with the debt. Eliminate the debt. I was just looking at all the doggone interest I was paying these credit card companies by not paying up in full. Well, it ain't going to happen no more. Some of you need to work on your credit. There's someone watching tonight. When I first met them, a couple years ago, their credit was in the 500s. We had a serious conversation. Their credit is 750. It did what I told them to do. And they can see the changes. So the person's living large now. Person got a raise on their job. They're looking to buy a home. So now if they bought a home today, if they bought one last year before, they would have gotten a gotten $25,000 to help them. But y'all went to vote for the other dude. Some of y'all. Shame on you. Listen, folks. It's 2025. I didn't even check to see what the markets did today. Some of you, your 401ks are taking a beating. Some of you, your 401ks are doing well. Well, the market was up today. The Dow was up 122.24. The NASDAQ was down 70.41. So a friend of mine is heavily invested in the NASDAQ tech stocks, and 206 for the S&P. But the key is this. It doesn't matter what the market does. The key is you got to continue putting something in there. Good evening, Unique Love. Good to see you. Good night in the big city, the Big Apple. Every time you get paid, pay yourself. Pay yourself. I don't care how you do it, but pay yourself. I believe everybody who has a job, I was going to say 100, but I'll take it down to 50. Everybody can save $50 a month. Everybody. I don't care how much you're making. Cut back on Netflix. Cut back on fetting. Cut back on Netflix and chill. Cut back and going out to eat. Cut back going to parties. Cut back on all the doggone Ubers. Buy a bus pass or a train pass and use it. It may be a little longer, and save and pay yourself first. It's 2025. Let's stop being foolish. Let's stop doing all the foolishness we've been doing for so long. literacy is not hard. Financial literacy is not hard if you know what you're doing. So start by saving and by paying yourself. So next week when I ask, who paid yourself this month? Everybody should put thumbs up. So tonight, we got 5 minutes to go. As I come to a close, you don't have to put it in the chat. That's your personal business. It's kind of like when a preacher makes an altar call. Sometimes some people put their hands up. Sometimes people stand up. But you don't have to do that. You can do it in your heart. So tonight, tell yourself, I am going to do things differently starting this month. Prosperity should be a mantra for everyone. It's Black History Month. I'm talking to the black folk tonight. If you happen to be white, Spanish, Asian, Native American, East Indian, Southeast Asian, use the concept too. But I'm talking to my black folk tonight. Those who look like me, from the Caribbean, Africa, those who were born here. People, let us make a change in 2025. Let us start saving. Some of you have gotten raises, so you need to save more. Every time you get a raise, pretend like you were living on the same money that you were making before. Do that. I know things are more expensive, but if you have a hardship, you have a surplus where you can get it out of. But if you get a raise and then you start living like what you're making, you're always going to be on the back nine. So be smart. You're making 25 grand a year, you get a raise to 35, pretend that you're making 25. Cheat yourself. Lie to yourself. You're making 35 and you got a raise to 50, pretend like you're still living on 35. You're making 50, you get a raise to 60 or 70, even on 50. You were making 60, now you're making 80, pretend you're living at 60. If you do that and you pay yourself and you save and dump it into an IUL, you'll be a boss. So tonight, I want everybody to go back. If you didn't start on February 1st, on February 1st, save a penny. On February 2, you save 2 cents. February 3, 4 cents. And you double day. What's today's date? The 11th? I have a can right there. I'm saving it. And at the end of the month, there's only 28 days in this month. I'm going to tell you what to do with that money. I know what I'm going to do with it. What are you going to do with it? Folks, tonight, what's important to me is not telling you what to do. Mindset of how you operate with money, how you use it, and what you do with it. I want to make sure that in 2025, you will be able to save more and pay yourself. So for Black History Month, get life insurance and build generational wealth so that, God forbid, something happens, you're on timely demise, or you have a critical or chronic illness, your family has an emergency pool of money, they can live in the same house, they can pay it off, they can do whatever, they can upgrade, but make sure you do it. And if you don't do it, you have no one to blame but yourself. So I want to thank you. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardoui. Some people call me H, some people call me Havis, some people call me Terrence, some people call me Mr. Bardoui, and some people call me Little Boy, even from Point Michel, aka La Pointe, in the Commonwealth of Dominica. Whitey Kubuli Tallis call me Luku Boy. Dominica made me, Boston raised me, now the South sustains me. Good night, everybody. Good night. You don't have to be a star to be on my show, but each and every one of you is a star. Good night, everybody. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. Like and share if you choose to. If you choose not to, I still love you. Mwah!
Family, come as you are, with just your heart. To me, your word, much more than you could ever.
You need my help? Call me. My number's scrolling. I don't need no superstars. I'll take you as you are.
I'll accept you as you are. You won't be denied, 'cause I'm satisfied with the help that I can provide. You is family to be on my show. You don't have to have a million family to be on my show.
Miss Maynard Thomas just told you you don't have to be rich. We can start with $50. Some of you can do 100. Some of you can do 1,000. Some of you can do 10,000. But the point is, pay yourself. Good night, everybody. And until next Tuesday, we'll be talking about income protection, debt elimination, and legacy creation. God bless you. Make it a good night. And thanks for tuning in. Hasta la vista, babies.